Hello and welcome to the first of two short films about how we can make environments friendlier for autistic children and adults. By making simple changes, you can make a big difference to the lives of many. Part 1, which you're watching, now looks at using the checklist for autism-friendly environments to consider what you may need to make changes, whilst Part 2 looks at creating an environmental plan. So why a checklist, you may ask? I didn't want to make things complicated and I wanted it to be available for everybody, families, autistic people. Sensory profiles are very good and extensive. However, I wanted this be an easy to use document for everybody. The impact of the environment on autistic people cannot be underestimated. Even such things as extreme aggression, self-injurious behaviours, isolation, preoccupation and lack of concentration could be some of the difficulties that an unfriendly environment may have. A person may have difficulty functioning or even a deterioration in mental health is possible. Care can be compromised and people may receive poor health outcomes. The nature of autism itself means that everyone will have communication challenges and often need support or adjustments. Many people have additional sensory challenges, for example being hypersensitive to noise or light. The checklist can be used in any environment, no matter where you may work. It could be used in education, healthcare, social care, in somebody's home or any residential care settings or leisure facilities. As you can see in this slide, way back in 1997, it was Dr. Tony Atwood stated that at least 40% of children with autism may have some sort of sensory sensitivity. The current thinking this could be much higher, and recent studies say approximately 90% of autistic people may have a sensory difference. The checklist was developed because no other tools were available and few articles were written at that time. The checklist is divided into two parts. Part A is for everyone to complete, whether you're someone who just wants to make spaces autism friendly, and Part B is more for enhanced services and specialist services who want to look at what could be done further. Part A, the core requirements, looks at a number of different things such as sensory, which includes sight and visual, smell, hearing, body awareness, and it also looks at communication systems, escape, and that's recognising where people can go if they're finding things too stressful, and it looks at core awareness for staff. Part B is the next section, which is called Enhance, which again looks at different sensory experiences such as touch, tactile experiences, taste and balance. It also talks about enhanced awareness that somebody in a specialist service might be expected to have, and looks at other aspects of autism such as theory of mind and flexibility of thought. The checklist shows the user which areas they need to work on and encourages them to find bespoke solutions. The checklist can be scored and given overall friendly reading, but really that's not the idea behind it. The idea is to look at solutions that you can make to environments. It's scored with a yes or no, as you will see from looking at the document, and it can be used for audit purposes. However, this is not really the purpose, and the idea is to instill thought and awareness around what's going on in people's environments. Here's an example of some of the questions in the checklist, and as you can see, they are specifically asking whether you have considered each issue. If not, you would need to do something about this and find the best solution if possible. Some simple ways to change may be autism awareness of reception staff. We looked at providing alternative lighting, and the use of dimmer lamps was suggested, so we had alternatives. We considered removing acute smells such as air fresheners or cleaning materials. We found that ticking clocks were irritable for people and people lost concentration because of them. Our service has been at the forefront of being able to purchase non-ticking clocks, which has been excellent. We looked at creating better signage. Is it clear? Can you check it? Do people understand it? Are there facilities to adjusting temperature? Can this be done? Sometimes services don't consider this. It can be either, radiators or opening windows. Just asking people what they prefer. And we identified quite low stimulus spaces if needed. When we looked at developing the checklist, we also looked at some supporting documents that also may be able to help. And these are downloadable from the website as well, free of charge. So please have a look at them. There's a document about guidance, there's a template about solutions and suggestions, a poster that you may want to use, and examples of environmental plans that we're going to talk about later. Thanks for taking the time to look at this work. I'm very passionate about it, as you can imagine. And it's just about making some simple changes that can make a big difference to autistic people and many other groups as well.